Now leave me alone unless you're bringing me another bottle. Or Serano's head in a bag.
This woman doesn't seem particularly fond of this elusive sailor fellow. You are quite sure you're not leading us to a murderer, aren't you, adventurer? Now this is truly terrible. No food, annoying little mud crabs. Do you suppose the sailor fellow is even alive?
Wherever you're going is fine with me.
Oh, sweet Mara, you really are alive! Have you lost your mind from loneliness? The state of your beard makes me think yes.
I'm feeling better by the minute. A bath, a shave, a decent meal, and most importantly, some distance between me and this island, and I'll be good as new. Say, what's your name? You can call me Val, by the way.
Val. I am Remiel. I'd prefer you to call me Remi, though. So, are you a murderer?
If I were, I deny it, of course. You'll just have to trust me.
Yes, of course. I told you, I knew this would happen. We're going to wake up murdered in the morning.
If I wake up next to either of you, it's not going to be with murder on my mind. Look, if I wanted to, I could have killed you both, taken the rowboat, and no one would ever find your bodies. But I didn't.
Well, that does make sense. Yes, alright, I suppose I will trust you.
I'm mostly harmless.
Well, that's good. Mostly? Well, it appears you did not wake up murdered either. I suppose our new pirate friend really isn't a killer.
Mercenary work for 200 gold? You've got to be kidding me. I hope this doesn't take long. Nothing personal.
Nothing personal, he says as he insults my wealth. Look, I'm sure you'll find plenty of riches in a shoe and sell.
We'll see.
Why she your for how tough mercenaries want to be? They sure are quick to act like children.
I'm not a mercenary. So you make a lot of friends this way? Why so much hostility?
Don't be daft. As though I'd ever make friends with some terrible, grumpy, miserable grump.
He's a renowned scholar. I read his books once. I'm just saying we can learn a lot from him. Besides, he might pay us for the things we find.
Absolutely not. He wouldn't use anything we give him appropriately. I'd rather sell to a Forsworn.
Well, how would you use it?
Well, I haven't decided yet. I could create a trap, or a device to communicate long distances, or something that can do boring tasks for me, or...
It seems like you're more interested in the possibility of what something could be, rather than what it used to be.
Well, naturally. I already know what the thing is, that's no fun. I'm much more excited for what I don't know it is.
Huh, I never thought about it that way. I like your way of looking at things. See, killing Falmer is a public service.
Well, if you put it that way, it makes us sound like heroes. Sort of. If you ignore the slaughtering creatures who can't see us part. Although they do seem intent on murder, so...
All's fair in love and war, my new friend. Anything else we should hide from Calcema on the way out?
Yes. Probably shouldn't let him see how many dynamos I've, salvaged. And... how many soul gems have I gotten? 1, 5, 15? Why, what have you found?
A handful of cogs, some kind of differential gear assembly I've never seen before, and this bent tuning fork. Leave a guy some soul gems next time, huh?
The guy should be faster next time, then.
You reprogrammed it that fast? That's amazing. Huh, I'm impressed. Maybe you could show me how you did that sometime.
Oh, it wasn't that hard. You're familiar with the power transference between soul gem and kinetic pistons within automata?
Well, yes. But every time I try to redirect the power feed, it's drained the soul charge.
Oh, yes, a mistake I've made many times. You have to ensure that you've connected it just so, distributing the energy use more evenly.
I think that's more complicated than you realize. I'm gonna need to practice that.
It's really not. You're just overthinking it. If you use 2 wires approximately the length of a standard dress cord, and alternate the pattern in a 1, 2, 3 sort of way, and ensure that each connection is knotted 5.5 times, angled parallel to the corresponding gears, I find that it works an incredible 10% of the time.
You lost me on the first part, but if you tie your knots like this, they won't slip anymore.
Like... oh! I've never... That's so secure! Incredible! Perhaps this will increase the success rate to 20%!
You know, Remi might be the most brilliant person I've ever met. I think she could figure out anything she puts her mind to.
So, Val. As in... Valentino?
By Mafallah, that's even worse than the truth. If you must know, my full name is Valerius.
Valerius?
Yeah, my mother hoped I grow up to be a good Imperial citizen. You could see how that turned out.
Oh? Are you trying to imply you're not a good Imperial citizen, Valerius?
Please don't call me that. I hate that name. And while I haven't gone back to check recently, I was wanted by the fair city of Anvil for piracy on the high seas, smuggling, kidnapping for ransom, extortion, blackmail, and lollygagging.
And how much is your bounty worth, then?
Oh no, I know that look. You are not turning me in for the bounty with the promise to help me escape prison later.
You're no fun. I found something in Val's pocket. No, I won't say what it is. Just know that it is what you would least expect.
Have you seen my compass? I swear, if I find it in Remi's backpack...
I've, acquired 384 septums just this morning, Val. From a number of sources mined, not just from one person. And you?
That's a good start, but jewelry is where the real money is. I've lifted 3 rings with gemstones today. I even left the fingers behind.
Rings? As in, right off the fingers? That's a lucky morning.
I could show you if you like. There's a couple of different methods. One does require magic, but a few others don't.
One requires magic, of course. I prefer the methods without magic. Not that I, need you to teach me, of course.
Of course not. You do, however, need a distraction. You also need the right situation. We could create a situation. Rings are easy to remove with some grease or oil. Clumsily spill something, apologize profusely, and while the mark is distracted, you make the grab.
Just like that? I usually try not to be seen when stealing. It's really okay to do it so openly?
We should practice this first. Do you think our mutual friend would mind?
In the interest of advancing the skills of their colleagues, they should be wholeheartedly supportive. Shouldn't they?
They'd have to be, and if we don't tell them ahead of time, it will make the scenario more realistic.
I'm so excited! My dear adventurer, you won't know what hit you. I know you might be thinking, why keep Remi around if Val is a better thief? Well, just keep in mind that it can be useful to have 2 thieves. If you're stealing artifacts and sailing on a ship, you might as well call yourself a pirate.
The distinction is murder. With piracy, you kill people first, then you steal their artifacts, while sailing on a ship.
Do pirates murder? They never have in the books I've read.
Murder is, shall we say, an essential tool of the trade.
Is that so they won't come after you if they discover you're the one who robbed them?
Quite the opposite. You want them to know exactly who you are. The trick is to leave a few alive, the ones that don't fight. They're scared, and they'll spread the word. Ideally, the next time your ship comes over the horizon, everyone is scared, and no one fights. Easy profit.
Ideally. It sounds like a lot of extra work to do it that way.
Successful piracy requires an investment in one's reputation. Let's just say that I haven't had to kill anyone in a while.
Seems suspiciously like politics. You've somehow mixed politics into thievery. Dreadful. Keep that away from my theft.
You can see why I'm considering a career change.
I've been trying to recall pirate stories from my childhood. Does Val greet you with Ahoy? I wonder if I should be saying that to him?
I'm not sure how to break it to Remi, but pirates talk the same as anyone else. I've never said "Ahoy, matey" in my life.
So, between the theft and the murder, do you pirates dine like kings? Or is all the space on the ship taken up by the gold?
At sea, dining, if you'd even call it that, can be pretty grim. When we get into port, everyone looks forward to a soft bed, fresh company, and good food. That's what all the gold is for.
Grim is not what I want to hear when it comes to my meals. Please tell me the food at ports is worth it, or I will feel a terrible amount of pity for you.
There's this place in Blacklight that serves the most delicious kwama eggs. What I wouldn't give to taste some of those.
Kwama eggs? I've heard of those. I've only ever been able to imagine chicken eggs when I think of them. Are they similar?
No, they're much larger and sort of chewy and sour. The tartness goes well with sweet flavors.
Chewy? Well, if they taste good, I suppose it's worth it being uncomfortable to eat. Tell me more. Tell me about all your fancy meals.
One of my favorite meals is mud crab cakes with marshmallow. I think the crabs in Morrowind have a sweeter flavor than the ones in Skyrim, for some reason. Do you have a favorite dish, Remi?
None are quite as fun as the things you've had, I'm sure. But I do quite like Brewit. It tastes wonderful and reminds me of festivals.
If only there was somewhere decent to eat in Skyrim. The Winking Skeever is as good as I found, and well, how much can you expect from a place named like that?
Someday, Val, we will go on a tour of Tamriel, eating everything tasty we find.
It's either that, or one of us is gonna have to learn how to cook properly.
All the sailors I've known can hold their liquor very well. What I'm saying is, don't offer to pay for Val's drinks or you'll quickly be destitute.
Keep an eye on
What's your
Remi.
problem?
This place doesn't water the drinks, and I'm not sure she can hold her mead.
Ah! Oh, look what you've done now. You can't just run into people like that. The potion I was making, it's all over you now. Oh, you're right. I'm just so clumsy sometimes. I'm so sorry. I'll make it up to you, I promise. No, you weren't supposed to notice. I at least got it off though, so that's progress. Here, you can have it back. I will. Don't you worry, I'll be just very careful from now on. Are you talking to me to give me the Sweetroll you have? Yes, I know you have one. No, I won't tell you how I found out. Oh, you noticed finally. Here. I did well though, didn't I? I'm sure Val will be proud of me when I tell him.
If you fancy a
Can't
bit
believe
of
I
news,
lost
let
it.
me know.
I could have sworn... Wait. Oh, Val is going to get it one of these days. I really do need to see if my father has received any more shipments of moon sugar.
Did I hear you say moon sugar? What's in the wind?
In the wind? I don't smell anything. Anyway, yes, moon sugar. Don't tell anyone, but sometimes my father sends me some of his leftover stock. His, completely legal stock.
Who am I gonna tell? Don't worry. I just want to know what you're plotting. It might be fun.
Well, my father gives me things that I cannot typically acquire. He has a lot of such things moving through his inventory. I'm not particularly fond of, skooma, but moon sugar makes a very nice ingredient in some foods.
That was not what I expected you to say, but, honestly, this is even better. Do you bake?
Yes.
If you ever need a taste tester, I'm willing. As good as you are at figuring out machines, I can't imagine a pastry recipe giving you any trouble.
Yeah. Of course. Absolutely. Next batch of moon sugar goes to a pastry just for you. A perfectly legal, perfectly delicious pastry.
I may have sampled moon sugar once or twice in the past, but I didn't realize you could safely bake with it. I can't wait to see what Remi comes up with.
You have to help me. Do you know how to bake? Can you make things with moon sugar without explosions? I can't let Val find out I don't know how.
I'm pretty sure Remi doesn't know how to cook, but I'm not about to tell her that. I really don't want to try it. Now I feel pressured. How bad is it? Don't lie to me, Remi. Not about this.
Val, with all the honesty I can muster, if you eat this, you'll likely drop dead. Don't tell our friend that, though. I made them take it.
I think I'm gonna pass. It's for the good of the group, you understand? What if all of us had food poisoning at the same time? Can't risk it. Ask Remi if she could cook something for us, would you? Her meals are always an adventure.
Val! Where did you get this? She's beautiful!
Hey! Careful which way you point that.
Look at this. I've never seen such a design before. Is this custom?
Yeah, I made her myself. I came up with the gear arrangement so I can reload fast. The way we use block and tackle pulleys to lift heavy loads on the ship gave me the idea.
I've never seen such ingenuity beyond the Dwemer's creations. How did you manage all this in such a small space? I'm so jealous.
The trick was blending an oil to work with such quickly spinning gears. Initially, I had problems with the mechanism getting jammed. And of course, you can't beat authentic Dwemer metal for durability.
Yes, Dwemer metal is beyond anything any modern-day society has even imagined. You created the oil yourself? Genius!
An extract from taproot has surprisingly similar properties to Dwemer oil. Mixing them together was exactly what I needed.
Incredible! How much experimenting did that take? How many mixtures with poor viscosity? Did you have to drink some to compare to Dwemer oil? Did it make you sick?
Yes, I tried it. No, I didn't get sick. Honestly, I seem to be able to eat just about anything. Doesn't mean I enjoyed it, though. The stuff tastes terrible. In hindsight, the whole process would have gone a lot faster if I had taken notes.
Oh, I wish you had so I could read them. I think we'll have no trouble with our enemies with you wielding this. Ooh, go convince Val to buy us drinks, okay? Val, have you pet Scrap recently? He'll start pouting if you don't give him attention.
Pet him like a dog.
No, pet him like a Scrap. It's a similar process, but unique in that you have to do it in such a way that Scrap enjoys it.
And how is that exactly? I mean, how would I tell if it... he liked it?
He'll look happy, and you'll probably feel happy.
Feelings? Oh, I suppose I'll never hear the end of it if I don't try. Come here, Scrap.
You're a natural, Val. Oh, I think Scrap really likes you.
I feel ridiculous. It is pretty cute when his soul gem glows, and he waves his little front legs like that, though.
I've been keeping increasingly ridiculous items in my pockets to see at what point I'll notice Val taking them. I'll let you know once I catch him.
You're not gonna believe what I found in Remi's pocket just now. If I didn't know better, I'd swear she was pranking me. I could have sworn I had... Hey! Remi, where is my Sweetroll?
I can barely keep track of my own things. How am I meant to keep an eye on yours, too?
I'm going to find it squashed and greasy under 14 Dwemer contraptions in your backpack, aren't I?
Absolutely not. It's in my stomach.
What was... Are you chewing?
I said it's in my stomach, and it was only mildly greasy.
I stole that fair and square. Rude.
Val's technical knowledge is astounding. I quite admire him. Oh, what could we invent together?
Remi, I honestly can't wait anymore for you to find it. So why don't you have a look at what I put in your backpack?
What did you... my backpack? Is this... Where did you find this vintage? How did you afford... Oh...
Oh, it wasn't too bad. I know a guy. You're welcome, by the way. I figured it was a little hard to come by in Skyrim.
This is amazing, Val! You're the best! We will share it tonight, right? You'll have some with me?
Well, I was hoping you'd say that. There should be enough for everyone.
Ooh, I can't wait! Hurry up and set, son. We're celebrating tonight.
Is it just my imagination, or is Remi freakishly strong? He's gotta be from carrying all that Dwemer junk.
Oh, what an easy mark. No, I shouldn't. But maybe I should. Oh, I know. Val, I need your, opinion on a hobby.
Is this about our mutual hobby, Remi? What's the situation?
That fellow there. Quick, before he walks too far. Do you suppose it's worth the effort? In your professional opinion, of course.
Well dressed, walking around like he owns the place, and most importantly, distracted. Definitely worth it. Do you see the wrinkle there on the line of his clothes on the left?
Good eye. Okay, how should we do this? I assume you are participating, right?
He's going to turn towards me when I ask him for directions. That's when you make your grab from the other side.
Excellent. Oh, be sure to get confused about the directions he gives, so he has to focus more on explaining.
I know what I'm doing. You worry about your part.
Oh, right. Okay, whenever you're ready. Oh, what trouble Val and I could get into back home. I wonder if he'd like to plan a heist with me. That would be fun.
Did I hear you say you're from Wayrest, Remi?
Yes. Why?
I was wondering if I might, owe you an apology. The Dark Rose was, involved with that Corsair incident back in 188.
With the Corsair? What? You were there? Why? How?
I sailed on the Dark Rose for 20 years. Back then, I was her first mate, and my father was the captain. There was an opportunity to make a large profit, so we were there.
A profit? But if you were there, then... Wait, you were first mate way back then? How old are you?
I was about 18. I'm guessing you were just a kid, right?
18? Back then? Then you're... Oh, you're old! But yes, I was a child then. It was... scary. But in the end, nothing bad happened to my family, so it's less frightening to think of now.
Believe me, no one's as surprised as I am that I've lived this long. I stayed with my ship most of the time during and after the fighting. I'm really glad to hear your family was all right. There are a lot of things I did back then that I don't do anymore.
So you wouldn't rob a city now?
Well, I wouldn't kill anyone to rob a city now. I have standards.
Aw, you've matured with age, Val.
I can't believe Remi called me old. Over 30 doesn't seem that old, does it? I'm not entirely sure how long my lifespan is, now that I think about it.
My understanding of pirates stems from stories my father would tell me when sailing. And, well, books. Are all pirates, people who steal and maybe murder and then sail away, are they all quite so intelligent as you?
Ha ha. I don't know about that. I dropped out of school when I was a boy. I'm not educated like you are.
Educated is different than intelligent, though. Although I do like to think I'm both. I hope I am, anyway.
You're brilliant. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
Wait just a moment. You've made the conversation about me when I meant it to be about you and your intelligence.
You caught me. I am sincere, though. Anyway, thank you. Most pirates can barely read. Officers do need to be able to understand charts and navigate, but even still, I'm considered eccentric.
Eccentric? Yes, that fits.
That's a part of my charm. Helps me stand out from the crowd.
I suppose you are a bit tall. I imagine I could spot you in a crowd, although I'm not sure that it's due to eccentricity or charm.
Haha, that's assuming you notice anything besides the next machine that catches your interest.
What? Rude. Do you ever worry Animunculi are sentient? Alone in these ruins for eons, only to be cut down by us in the end.
No. Not for a second. They're just piles of machinery. If anything, those soul gems raise some questions, though. Slaves, maybe? If so, we're doing them a favor.
Piles of machinery? Scrap is not a slave, he's my friend. Sometimes the steam in the pipes sounds like screaming. Those are the pipes, right?
You have a very active imagination. How much time have you spent alone in these ruins exactly?
Ha ha, very funny. But a lot of time. That doesn't make me hear things, though.
No, of course not. Sometimes there's actual screaming. Bandits, prior expeditions, me. Is it just me, or did that sound like Chaurus moving around? I'm gonna go stand by Remi to, make sure she's okay.
Val, give me your hand. Oh, and close your eyes.
Alright. I do like surprises.
Okay, close your hand. Don't peek. You have to guess what it is.
Is this? It feels like a handful of gears. But they're so small.
Very good. Now you have to guess where it came from.
Bellathors? No, I'd have noticed that. Don't tell me you picked these up in Markarth.
You win! It was apparent Lisbeth did not know the value of what she had. They were just laying out on a table. And now they're for you.
I could use these in my crossbow. They're the perfect size. Thank you, my friend. Very thoughtful of you.
Don't forget about Val. I fear he might die of fright if he becomes separated from us in here. Aw, Scrap, that's so sweet. What do you mean, don't tell Val? He'd love you to tell him that. Oh, thank the divines! I thought you were actually going to return the Star of Solitude, and I was contemplating how to make off with it before then. It sounds shiny. Is it shiny?
Oh, it's exquisitely shiny. Would you like to see it?
Ooh, exquisitely shiny, he says. What do you take me for? Of course I want to see it.
I do have a buyer lined up, but honestly, I'm not sure I can part with it.
If you end up selling it, your buyer will be terribly disappointed when it goes missing again. In all honesty, even if it will net me a pretty coin, I struggle to part with lovely things. It's why I always have so much to carry around. I wouldn't blame you if you kept it.
You're speaking my love language. Maybe I could figure something out.
What's this journal? Is Val some sort of artist? I suppose he makes an art of words when he speaks aloud. This just seems so from the heart for him. You've been talking with Val quite a bit. Have you learned if he is indeed an artist yet? Wait. Kill Val and any companions? I'm any companions!
I don't mean to pry, but about your birth father. I couldn't help but overhear he was raised by necromancers. I thought that was illegal in High Rock.
Oh, it is. Illegal, that is.
So, how do you feel about it? My father's a heartless bastard, but I still wouldn't want to see his corpse wandering around.
How do I? I feel terrible about it. It's the worst thing that has ever happened to me. It's the worst thing that ever happened to my father.
I hate that it happened. Were you able to do anything about it? All those nightly orders in High Rock. Surely they're not all useless.
Well, wait. An order did do something about it. But it was more an investigation into my family.
They thought your family was involved with necromancy. To raise your own father.
Not specifically that, but more that we were negligent. Didn't properly consecrate the body. That sort of thing.
Oh. Did something happen?
The body, that is.
No matter the circumstances, that doesn't justify what those necromancers did. They were responsible for their actions. Everyone has a choice.
Yes, you're right. Thank you, Val.
Hey, if you ever want to go kill everyone responsible, I'm on your side.
I'll keep that in mind.
Hold on, you're just gonna go along with this? I don't like how she assumes you're going to murder a man just because she told you to. Are you sure you know what you're getting into?
Besides, they're standing right there. Hush.
As long as you're doing this for your reasons, and not just hers. My father used to say things like that.
I've always
Right
been
after
a
he
night owl.
insisted I murder someone I didn't even know. Much like this scenario. Remi's not entirely innocent either.
You're going to
Just
love
make sure
our
you know
control,
what her
I
endgame
promise.
is.
It's
Yeah, that's because you're too busy answering to Remi. What are you, her personal killer for hire? How convenient for you. Except I don't take orders from you or anyone else.
Well, if you're so against me doing what is right for my family, Valerius, you can just wait here for us to come back.
That's not what I said. You're twisting my words. Try not to get killed, okay?
Of course I won't get killed. I have Scrap and our friend with me. Val, I wanted to, apologize.
For?
What happened with Morvig? I know it made you angry. I'm not sorry I did it. But I am sorry that I upset you.
The thought is nice enough, but it's a thought, and your actions say otherwise. I'm not a killer for hire. I owe our friend a debt, and so do you.
I'm trying to be nice, Val. Don't ruin it.
You could have just asked me. I don't think you were wrong to kill him, for what it's worth. Morvik got what was coming to him.
Well, Did I not ask you?
You started issuing orders like a captain, taking her ship into battle.
Well, I'm sorry for that as well. I'll work on it.
Apology accepted. I heard about what you did for our friends, little guy. You really saved the day. I admit it, Scrap has grown on me. He really does have a lot of personality. And unexpected loyalty.
I know! Isn't he just... Wait, unexpected? What do you mean, unexpected? He's been nothing but loyal.
Hey, to be fair, I have seen dozens of mechanical spiders, and Scrap is the first one that wasn't trying to kill me.
Well, yes, fine, I will grant you that. I suppose I should be happy that you're finally letting Scrap know how amazing he is.
You have a way of inspiring loyalty in unexpected places. I'm glad we're adventuring together, my friend.
Oh, you like me! And you admitted it! You talked about feelings. Are you well? A fever coming on?
Yeah, you got me. Don't tell anybody, alright? It'll be bad for my reputation.
Well, let me think. I suppose I can keep it a secret. Although I think Scrap likely heard.